They stormed the Capitol on January 6th. They beat up 140 police officers, killed one. Okay, they killed one. We all watched the video.
Can you look me in the face and tell me that government expenditures on green energy subsidies through the Inflation Reduction Act that increase our national debt are in any way lessening my burden at the gas station and the grocery store?
I could not say that right now in the present moment.
And here's, to me, the number you probably ought to care about the most in this poll. The state of the U.S. economy. 81% tell us they're dissatisfied. This is the second highest number we've ever recorded. The last time it was this high was just before the 2010 election. And you know how that one went.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the mainstream liberal media and the Democrat strategist who is waving the white flag on the Democrats just a couple days before the midterms, because she's saying the quiet part out loud about the Democrats and how bad their strategy actually was. Nobody actually cares about the so-called threat to democracy and that they dropped the ball on the economy. Take a look.
Well, you have a different take maybe than Bakari on Democrats.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mark is right.
Speaking as a Democrat.
I'm a loyal Democrat, but I am not happy. I just think that we did not listen to voters in this election, and I think we're going to have a bad night. And, this conversation's not going to have much impact on Tuesday, but I hope it has an impact going forward, because when voters tell you over and over and over again that they care mostly about the economy, listen to them. Stop talking about democracy being at stake. Democracy is at stake because people are fighting so much about what elections mean. I mean, voters have told us what they wanted to hear, and I don't think Democrats have really delivered this cycle.
I think that's actually very true about the national messaging that's going on. But you actually have some good candidates who are following your advice. You have people like Mark Kelly, who is running a great race. You have people like Raphael Warnock, who's running a great race, and Josh Shapiro,
I would say in those places,
Fetterman and Tim Ryan.
What we have are, the unfortunate combination of strong gubernatorial candidates, like Mark Kelly is I was just in Arizona and spent some time there, talked to a bunch of voters. Mark Kelly's popular, but Kari Lake is more popular. And the combination of Kari Lake's popularity and Joe Biden's unpopularity is going to hurt Mark Kelly. And so I think we're in trouble because of the top of the ticket.
Are you going to interrupt her and disagree with her?
I don't want to break up Dem on Dem violence. Exactly. But I feel like Blake Masters is going to win Arizona because the reality is that the border is a serious issue down there. And to Hillary's point, the Democrats have not talked about how are we going to do to fix inflation at a 40-year high. What are we going to do to control the border? What are we going to do to handle crime?
It's not because of facts, Mark. I don't think we're in trouble because of facts. I think we're in trouble because of messaging.
I think you're in huge trouble because of facts.
You guys were in office for a long time and did nothing about it.
The reality is inflation's at a 40-year high because of specifically the spending policy.
You were in office for a long time and did nothing to fix immigration. You never passed a bill. You never got anything done.
Because of what you guys have done.
We have an economic story to tell. People actually like our policies better on the economy.
You're kidding
yourself.
And
we have not been doing.
Wow, incredible stuff. I don't know how this Democrat strategist can have enough awareness to know that we suck, okay? We're about to get blown out in the midterms because nobody cares about the so-called attack on democracy. But at the same time, she thinks that the facts are on their side, and that's just not the case. Like, for example, when it comes to crime in New York, the facts are not on the Democrat side, but for whatever reason, Democrats like Kathy Hochul pretend like the facts are on their side.
People think that crime is number one, 28%. And this is according to a Quinnipiac poll. Inflation is 20%. The crime rate has overall is down, but there are issues when it comes to violent crimes. There are issues when it comes to murder. It is they're down in some places in the city, up in many places in the city, and in the state as well. What is it? What are Democrats not getting about crime? Why are Republicans winning on this whole crime issue? That has been the thing that has fueled Lee Zeldin's campaign.
Because they're being dishonest about it. they're not having a conversation about real solutions. What we have done is taken 8,000 illegal guns off the streets. We made sure that no 18-year-old can get their hands on an AR-15. We've made sure that our red flag laws are tough and there's background checks, whereas Lee Zeldin has opposed every part of that, even voting against the first significant gun safety legislation in 3 decades in Washington.
Yeah, so I'm not necessarily sure if Kathy Hochul is in touch with reality there, right? Or is she just deflecting? Because it's not a good look when you talk about how strict you are on guns and what you've done to take away people's constitutional rights. It doesn't look good when you talk about that and how effective that's supposed to be while there's a graphic up right beside your face showing how bad crime is, right? So you're talking about restricting guns and crime is still skyrocketing. Again, not a good look. And the worst part about this, guys, is not just her denial of reality, but the fact is that she accuses other people who are in touch with reality of, I don't know, being concerned about the wrong thing or pushing conspiracies.
This governor, who still, to this moment, we're halfway through the debate, she still hasn't talked about locking up anyone committing any crimes.
Okay.
Anyone who commits a crime under our laws, especially with the change they made to bail, has consequences. I don't know why that's so important to you. All I know is that we could do more.
Ravenel, these are master manipulators. They have this conspiracy going all across America to try and convince people that in democratic states they're not as safe. Well, guess what? They're also not only election deniers, they're data deniers. The data shows that shootings and murders are down in our state by 15%, even in New York City, down 20% on Long Island, where Lee Zeldin comes from.
On the subject of nonviolent crime, not that long ago in New York, in our city, crime was down, incarceration was down, stop and frisk was down. How is it okay that we're now seeing people who commit a dozen burglaries face zero consequences?
That's not okay. That's not okay. That's why I need the system to work with the laws we put in place. We changed the laws. Repeat offenders need to be held.
Even in nonviolent crimes.
They need to be held when there's repeat offenders.
But despite Hochul's changes, repeat offenders are still being released because New York's new laws still require judges to use the least restrictive bail, meaning even when bail is set, it's set low.
But see, the problem here for Kathy Hochul is that she can't run away from reality, because the reality is that crime is so bad in New York that even the mainstream liberal news anchors that kiss the Democrat Party's feet, that work for the Democrat Party, they're scared because they don't feel safe.
But I'm going to interrupt you then. Here's the problem. We don't feel safe. You might be working closely with Mayor Adams. You may have spent a whole lot of money, but I walk into my pharmacy and everything is on lockdown because of shoplifters. I'm not going in the subway. People don't feel safe in this town. So you may have done these things, but right now we're not feeling good. We're worried we could be San Francisco.
Yeah, so this is why the Democrats are losing. It's not just that they focused on the wrong messaging, because that's what the Democrats are saying. Well, it's messaging. It's messaging. The facts are on our side. And it's like, no, the facts are not on your side. The facts was not on your side when you told us that inflation was transitory. The facts was not on your side when you shut down the economy and forced an experimental vaccine into people's arms. The facts were not on your side when you told us that the border was closed and is actually open. The facts were not on your side when you told us that crime was not a problem. Again, Democrats think they have a messaging problem. No, you have a governing problem. Your policies are bad. Your policies are terrible. But see, again, what the Democrats do here is that they not only deny reality, but if you question them and their denial of reality, they'll say, well, you're just misinformed, right? You're a victim of misinformation, which is exactly what the Democrats are telling people, specifically black men, who don't want to vote for Stacey Abrams. Well, you're just misinformed.
And I do not believe it's because of a deep well of enthusiasm for my opponent. We know that black voters are often discounted. And unfortunately, this year, black men have been a very targeted population for misinformation, not misinformation about what they want, but about why they want what they deserve. And my campaign has been the only one that has very intentionally, thoughtfully, and consistently reached out. That has been misconstrued as concern when it indeed is just respect.
Mayor Bottoms, I picked up on that because I'm just wondering, Stacey Abrams' focus on the misinformation that's being targeted at black men. And it makes me wonder, is she not getting the black support she needs in her race against Brian Kemp?
Listen, Jonathan, I think that Stacey is spot on with that. I listen as my kids watch NBA highlights and whatever else they watch on YouTube. I hear the misinformation being piped in. My 12-year-old, my 14-year-old son, my 20-year-old is getting it. So there is definitely a target toward African-American men.
Yeah, so basically, again, black men are too stupid, right, to be informed enough to know that you have to vote for Stacey Abrams. Because you're a black man, you should be voting for Stacey Abrams. There's no way that a Republican governor like Brian Kemp could actually, have better policies for black men, specifically black men that are looking to start a business, okay, or that are more business oriented. No. You need to vote for Stacey Abrams, okay, because she's black, right? Again, this is the gist of the Democrats and their messaging, okay? They never want to acknowledge that there's actually a problem, because if they acknowledge there's a problem, what they're acknowledging is that their policies are bad. And that is why these Democrats and their strategists, they may understand that it's over. They may understand that they have a messaging problem. But if they don't go deeper into the fact that, no, you actually just have a policy problem, you're not going to fix anything. Again, when you tell people to come to the border, okay, during a primary, that's not a good thing. Also, when you're giving out amnesty to Venezuelans that come over here as well, too, you flying people out to get abortions and all types of other stuff. When they come over here, yeah, that is not discouraging people from coming, right? When you decide to get rid of cash bail while also at the same time demonizing and in some cases actually defunding the police, yeah, that's going to contribute to crime. When you decide to spend trillions of dollars and pour that on a red hot economy that did not need that stimulus, yes, that is going to contribute to inflation. When you traffic LGBTQ sexually graphic books into schools, and then you turn around and tell parents that are complaining about it that it doesn't exist, that they're making it up, or that you are transphobic, or that you're a bigot, or you're anti-LGBTQ, or you're homophobic, or whatever, in response, yeah, people are going to get upset. That is a policy failure. You told parents that they should not have any say over their child's education, that you should decide. The same people that decided to lock down schools, which hurt children, okay? So again, Democrats want to pretend like, oh, it's a messaging problem. It's a messaging. No, it's not just a messaging problem. The messaging is terrible, but also the policies are terrible. Again, we can point to so many of them, right? To show that, no, they've been a failure at every single level. And until Democrats realize that, hey, people actually don't agree with our policies like that, we need to change our policies, nothing's going to change for them. It doesn't matter what the messaging is. People are not stupid. They can see through the nonsense and the BS, and they understand that, no, the economy actually is bad. There is inflation. We are in a recession. There are sexual books in schools. The border is open. There is a crime problem. I don't care what your messaging is. That's not going to fix the actual problem, right? So, again, Democrats living in cuckoo for Cocoa Puff world, even those that see the light, they still are not all the way there yet, which tells you exactly why they're in the situation they're in. I don't think it's going to get any better for them until they actually have a serious self-evaluation and realize that their policies are just simply not good for this country. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.